In this video, we will be learning about how we can group, lock, and hide our elements in vStitcher to create a more organized workflow. Let's start with the Group feature. This allows us to group internal elements together. Once grouped, we can perform actions on this group. We can group artwork, trims, internal lines, and attached pieces which are attached to the same base piece. For example, we might want to group the different elements of artwork which makes up a compound artwork. To group elements, first we select the elements we want to group. Then we right-click one of the selected elements and click Group. For example, we want to select all the artwork elements on the back bodice. We disable pieces in the horizontal contextual menu to make it easier to marquee select the artwork elements. Right-click a selected element to access the right-click menu. Click Group. The elements are grouped. Note that we cannot group parts of different pattern pieces, elements with a cross property. Also, it's not possible to create a group within a group. Once elements are grouped together, they are displayed in their own group folder in the 2D part of the Resources tab. We can rename the folder by double-clicking the name and typing a new name. In the 2D window, when we hover our cursor over one of the elements in the group, a bounding box is displayed to show that the element belongs to a group. We click one element to select the group. If we would like to move or change the size of only one element in the group, we double-click on the element to isolate it. Then we can make the change we want. Grouping our elements can make our work more efficient as we can apply actions to the group simultaneously. For instance, we can copy, paste, move, scale, and rotate a group. To ungroup elements, we can again use the right-click menu. Next, let's look at Lock. This feature allows us to protect elements from being changed or stitched. For example, we might want to lock the measure lines on the bodice to avoid moving it while we edit nearby elements like the artwork or trim. We can lock any element that displays on the 2D part of the Resources tabs, except the edges of a pattern piece. To lock an element, first we select the element we want to lock. Then we right-click the element and click Lock. Locked elements are grayed out in the 2D window. Once an element is locked, a padlock icon is displayed for it on the 2D part of the Resources tabs. Note that if we hover over an element which is not locked, the padlock icon is grayed out. If we want, we can use the padlock icon to lock or unlock an element. Of course, we can also use the right-click menu in the 2D window. Finally, let's look at Hide. Using this feature, we can hide, for example, internal lines or artwork or trim to have a clearer view of the pattern shapes. Hiding or unhiding of internal elements works the same way as locking them. To hide an element, first we select the element we want to hide. Then we right-click the selected element and click Hide. We can hide internal elements in both 2D and 3D windows and can hide pieces in the 3D window. An element hidden in the 2D window is automatically hidden in the 3D window. An element hidden in the 3D window remains visible in the 2D window. To hide pieces in the 3D window temporarily, we need to right-click on the pattern piece in that window, then click Hide. This makes the pattern invisible in the 3D simulation, but it is still active. This gives us the ability to view the inner layer of garments or to have a closer look where the parts of a garment may be overlapping one another. We can use Group, Lock, and Hide on their own or in combination to make our work in vStitcher well organized and much more efficient. For more information, check out the Browseware Help Center.